How does AI actually help hotels figure out what guests really want? All right, ready to dive into AI in hospitality?
Let's do it.
I know. Everyone's talking about AI these days. It's like trying to find a decent croissant in a hotel breakfast buffet everywhere you look.
Uh-huh. Right.
But you sent over some articles on AI and the hotel experience, and honestly, they got me thinking. This isn't just some passing trend, is it?
Not even close.
So let's ditch the hype and get into the good stuff, the actual ways AI is changing things for hotels and guests.
Absolutely. And the really interesting stuff isn't always the most obvious.
You mean it's not all robot bellhops and things like that?
I mean, I wouldn't say no to a robot bringing me room service, but yeah, the articles you shared, they really dig into how AI is impacting stuff like sales, marketing, even revenue management.
Okay, so less about robots making the beds and more about, like, the behind-the-scenes stuff that actually makes a hotel run.
Exactly. The stuff most guests probably don't even think about, but it can make or break their experience.
Okay, I'm intrigued. So one of the articles you sent, starts by saying we need to make a distinction between AI and automation. And honestly, I kind of use those terms interchangeably.
That's a common mix-up.
So help me out. What's the difference?
Okay, think of it like this. Automation, that's like that coffee machine in your hotel room, right?
Yeah, programmed to do one thing, make coffee, and usually not very good coffee.
Exactly. It's consistent, but it's not exactly inspired. But AI, that's more like having a barista.
Okay, I see where you're going with this.
Like a really good barista remembers your order, knows when the morning rush will hit, might even adjust prices if they run low on beans or something.
Right?
They're using their experience, their knowledge, to adapt to the situation.
So AI isn't just about telling a machine to do something. It's about giving it the ability to learn and change based on what's happening.
Exactly.
Okay, that makes so much more sense.
Yeah.
So instead of just programming a machine to perform a task,
You're basically trying to teach it to think like we do, but with the added bonus of being able to process tons of information super fast.
right, okay, now we're getting somewhere. And this is where things get interesting, right?
Oh,
Because
yeah.
once you've got AI that can kind of think on its feet,
It opens up a whole world of possibilities, especially for things like, well, personalized recommendations. Have you ever gotten those from like a hotel app or a website?
oh yeah. And honestly, half the time they're so far off.
Right, exactly. But with AI, it can actually get pretty good.
Okay, so how does that work? How does AI actually help hotels figure out what guests really want?
Well, think about all the data points they have on you, right? From your booking history to your online behavior, AI can analyze that to get a sense of your preferences.
Okay, so it's not just about what kind of room I booked last time. It's like AI is putting together this whole puzzle of my preferences.
Exactly.
So instead of just getting generic room options.
AI can be like, hey, based on your past bookings, your social media activity, even the kinds of restaurants you search for online, I think you'd love this boutique hotel with a rooftop bar overlooking the city.
That's a little scary how much it knows, but also kind of amazing.
It's all about making the guest experience more tailored, more you.
So instead of getting a generic book your summer getaway email, AI can help craft a message that speaks directly to my love of, say, infinity pools and Michelin-starred room service.
Exactly. And it's not just about sending you a targeted ad, it's about understanding what makes you tick as a traveler.
Okay, I'm liking where this is going.
Right. It's about moving away from those one-size-fits-all marketing blasts and creating something that genuinely resonates with you.
So give me an example. How does this actually play out in the real world?
Okay, imagine you're a hotel and you're using AI to analyze your guest data. You discover that a good chunk of your guests are, say, really into fitness. They're always asking about nearby hiking trails, checking in at yoga studios on social media, that kind of thing.
Okay, makes sense.
So instead of just sending them a generic email about your hotel's amenities, you use AI to craft a targeted campaign showcasing all the amazing outdoor activities available nearby. Maybe you even partner with a local fitness studio to offer a discount to your guests.
Oh, I see. So it's not just about knowing what guests like. It's about using that information to create these really tailored experiences.
Exactly. It's about going that extra mile, anticipating their needs, and making them feel like you really get them.
And that personalized touch can be what makes someone choose your hotel over the one down the street.
Absolutely. It's all about standing out from the crowd, and AI can definitely help with that.
Speaking of standing out, the article mentioned something about AI and a 20x return on ad spend. That sounds almost too good to be true.
It does, doesn't it? But this wasn't some pie-in-the-sky prediction. It was the real deal.
Okay, now you have to tell me more.
So the article highlighted a company called Sendin. They've got this AI-powered marketing platform that's, well, it's pretty impressive.
What kind of results are we talking about here?
They were seeing a potential 20x return on ad spend, meaning for every dollar they put into advertising, they're potentially getting $20 back.
Wow, that's not just a boost, that's like a whole new tax bracket.
Right. Talk about a game changer.
Okay, I'm sold. So how does this AI marketing wizardry actually work?
Basically, the platform uses AI to constantly analyze guest data and optimize marketing campaigns in real time.
So it's like having a 24/7 marketing team that never sleeps, never takes a coffee break, and somehow always knows the perfect thing to say to potential guests.
Exactly. And that kind of efficiency, that constant fine-tuning, it can make a huge difference.
Okay, so we've covered personalized recommendations and AI-powered marketing. What about the financial side of things? Because I know AI is also making waves in revenue management.
Oh, absolutely. And this is where things get really interesting.
Okay, because honestly, when I hear AI and revenue management in the same sentence, I kind of picture a robot banker counting piles of cash.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh. Well, it's not quite that dramatic, but AI is definitely changing the game when it comes to how hotels manage their money.
Like what?
Well, one of the biggest impacts is in the area of demand forecasting.
Demand forecasting. Sounds a bit technical.
It is, but it's also incredibly cool. Basically, AI-powered tools can analyze tons of data, past booking trends, competitor pricing, even things like weather patterns and local events, and use that information to predict future demand for hotel rooms.
So it's like having a crystal ball that tells you how many people are going to want to book a room on any given night.
Pretty much. And the accuracy of these predictions can be scary good.
Okay, now you have to give me some numbers. How accurate are we talking?
Some companies are reporting up to 95% accuracy with their AI-powered demand forecasts.
95%. That's insane. It's like having a cheat code for the hospitality industry.
It kind of is, and that level of accuracy can have huge implications for a hotel's bottom line.
Okay, so how does knowing what's going to happen in the future actually translate to real-world benefits?
Well, imagine a hotel in a city that's hosting a massive music festival,
Right.
right? In the past, they might have just kind of crossed their fingers and hoped for the best.
Right, maybe raise their prices a little, but nothing too drastic.
Exactly. But with AI-powered demand forecasting, they can see that surge in demand coming weeks, even months in advance.
Ah, so they can be much more strategic about their pricing.
Exactly. They can adjust their rates to reflect the increased demand, maybe even offer special packages or promotions to capitalize on the influx of visitors.
Okay, so guests are happy because they're getting a unique experience, and the hotel is happy because they're maximizing their revenue.
Exactly. It's a win-win.
I love a win-win.
Yeah.
But for all this talk about data and algorithms and revenue, we can't forget that hospitality is, at its core, a people business, right?
100%. And this is where some people get a little wary of AI, right? They worry that it'll make things feel too impersonal or transactional.
Right, like robots are going to replace that human touch that makes a hotel stay special.
Exactly. But I think AI can actually enhance that human touch, you know? It's all about using technology in a way that makes the guest experience even more personalized and enjoyable.
Okay, so how does AI do that? How does it make things more, well, human?
One really interesting area is in the realm of guest feedback.
Okay, you mean like those online reviews everyone's always obsessed with?
Exactly. But it's not just about reading those reviews, it's about really understanding what guests are saying, what they're feeling, and that's where AI can be incredibly helpful.
In what way?
Well, think about it. People often write reviews when they're feeling emotional, right?
Oh, absolutely. Whether they're gushing about how amazing their stay was or ranting about a terrible experience, there's usually a lot of emotion baked into those reviews.
Exactly. And AI can actually help us cut through that emotion and get to the heart of what guests are trying to tell us.
So it's like having an AI therapist who can decipher the true meaning behind our online rants.
Haha, kind of. But seriously, there are AI platforms out there that can analyze guest reviews on a much deeper level than humans ever could.
Like what kind of things can these AI platforms pick up on?
Well, they can identify patterns in guest sentiment, even if those patterns aren't immediately obvious to a human reader. Like maybe a guest leaves a seemingly positive review, but the AI detects a lot of negative language associated with, say, the check-in process.
Oh, interesting. So even though the guest might not have explicitly said the check-in was terrible, the AI can pick up on those subtle cues.
Exactly. And that kind of insight can be incredibly valuable for hotels.
So they can address those issues and hopefully prevent them from happening again in the future.
Precisely. It's about using AI to not only understand what guests are saying, but also to uncover those hidden pain points that might otherwise go unnoticed.
It's amazing to think about how much AI can pick up on that we might miss,
Right.
all those little details that add up to a guest's overall experience.
Absolutely. It's all about data, right? And AI is really good at spotting those subtle patterns in data that humans might overlook.
Right. Okay, so we've covered a lot of ground here. We've talked about personalized recommendations, AI-powered marketing, demand forecasting, even AI that can analyze guest feedback. And it seems like there's this huge potential for AI to transform the hospitality industry, right?
Absolutely. But, and this is a big but.
Uh-oh, I don't like the sound of that, but
Yeah.
what's the catch?
Well, it's not so much a catch as, some hurdles we still need to overcome. Because the article did mention that, despite all the benefits, a lot of hotels are still hesitant to jump on the AI bandwagon.
Really? Why is that? I mean, we've been talking about all these amazing things the AI can do. You'd think hotels would be lining up to get on board.
You'd think so, right? But change is always a little bit scary, especially when it comes to technology.
Okay, so what's holding hotels back?
Well, cost is definitely a factor, especially for smaller hotels. Some of these AI-powered systems can be pretty pricey to implement.
That makes sense. Not everyone has the budget of a Marriott or a Hilton.
Exactly. And then there's the learning curve. I mean, these systems can be incredibly powerful, but they're not exactly plug and play.
So you need someone on staff who actually knows how to use this technology.
Exactly. You need people who can not only operate the software, but also understand the data it's spitting out, and then use that data to make informed decisions.
So it's an investment in both technology and training.
Exactly. And that can be a big ask for some hotels, especially those that are already stretched thin.
Right, because the hospitality industry is already pretty demanding, right? Long hours, often tight budgets.
Exactly. And then, of course, there's the fear factor.
Oh, what do you mean?
Well, let's be honest, there's a lot of hype around AI right now, and some of it is pretty overblown.
Right, like robots taking over the world.
Exactly. And that kind of fear can be a real barrier to adoption.
Because people are worried that AI will make things feel less human, less personal.
Exactly. But I think it's important to remember that AI is just a tool, right? And like any tool, it can be used for good or for evil. It's up to us, the humans, to decide how we want to use it.
So it's not about replacing humans with robots. It's about finding ways for those two to work together to create even better experiences for guests.
Exactly. And I think we're just starting to scratch the surface of what's possible when it comes to AI in hospitality.
Okay, now I'm excited again. Paint me a picture. What does the future of AI in hospitality look like to you?
Well, imagine a world where your hotel room knows your preferences before you even walk in the door.
Okay, like what?
Like the temperature is set perfectly, the lights are dimmed just the way you like them. Maybe there's even a playlist of your favorite music playing softly in the background.
It's like the hotel room is reading my mind.
Yeah. Exactly. Or imagine this. You're at a hotel in a foreign city, and the AI-powered concierge suggests a restaurant for dinner. But it's not just any restaurant. It's a place that serves your favorite cuisine, has live music that you might enjoy, and is located just a short walk from the hotel.
So it's about taking all those data points we talked about earlier and using them to create these incredibly personalized and memorable
Oh,
experiences.
precisely. And that's just the beginning. I think AI has the potential to revolutionize every aspect of the hospitality industry, from the way we book our travel to the way we experience a destination.
Well, sign me up. I'm ready for my AI-powered vacation. But in all seriousness, it's clear that AI is here to stay, and it's going to play an increasingly important role in the world of hospitality. So as we wrap up this deep dive, I have one final question for you, and for everyone listening. What role do you envision AI playing in shaping the future of travel and hospitality? What excites you? What concerns you? Let's keep the conversation going. Until next time, happy travels.